Hey everyone, welcome to your next edition of Terminology Thursday. Today we are going over context clues. So we are going to talk about how to use information around words to understand what they mean. Context clues is something that's going to help you as you read. It's going to help you with your vocabulary to better understand what you are talking about and what you're learning, what you are working on in your classes, and what you're reading. So let's take a look at context. So as you read, it can be very difficult to understand the new words that you're seeing. A lot of times, especially if we're reading for a specific class, there are a lot of words that appear that we don't necessarily know. And so this is going to help us to really hone in on those words and find a way to really help us to understand what they mean, so we better understand what we're reading. Because how can you understand the information that's written if you don't understand the words that are used? This is something we really want to focus on. And that's what we're going to look at today. How do we understand the words in the sentence in order to be able to better understand what we're talking about and what we're learning about? So what are context clues? We always want to start out by defining, at least in some way, what it is that we're discussing. So remember, if you have been in my class before, you know that I'm not necessarily a fan of dictionary.com or, looking, finding words in the dictionary. Absolutely, that is helpful to know what a word means. But we also want to use what we call our working definition, which that is what we know that the word means or what we understand the word to mean. We want to put our definitions in our own words. Okay, so we want to use our working definitions. That's really going to help us to make sure we better understand that word. It's also going to help us commit it to memory better. So what are context clues? Context clues are words in a sentence or a series of sentences that give us hints or clues about what a word means. They help us as readers to better understand the information that's being presented. So again, we look at those clues or hints within a sentence or within a phrase, within a series of sentences to understand what the word means. Those are the clues that are around as we are reading. And they look through the information within a paragraph in order to understand the meaning of a word. We're going to look at some examples. I know those are three kind of very similar meanings and definitions, but again, whatever way works best for you to remember, it's the clues within a sentence or a series of words that really help us to understand the meaning of a word that we don't yet know. Let's take a look at some examples, because sometimes it's best to understand by looking at examples. So, first sentence, Miss Ford is in the middle of painting right now. So let's take a look at Miss Ford's sentence about painting. When I went to the store to choose a new color for my room, I saw a plethora of options to choose from. Plethora. Ooh, what does that word mean? Well, let's take a look at some words around to better understand. Let's see. I went to a store. So I know that I'm in a place where they're going to have lots of supplies. And I'm choosing a new color for my room. We all know that this is difficult to do. Okay, a plethora of options to choose from. Okay, let's take a look at that phrase, options to choose from. Now, when I go into a place with paint supplies and I'm trying to choose a color, what stands out to you about doing that? I want you to close your eyes and picture walking into a store And walking into, think of like Home Depot or Lowe's or maybe Sherwin-Williams or I'm trying to think of some of the other ones, even Walmart. When you walk in and you look at that paint section, there are a lot of different colors to choose from. There are a lot of different colors. So we're going to close our eyes. We're going to picture walking into that store. We're going to picture looking at the paint section. And we notice that there are a plethora or a lot, maybe even a crazy amount. You could say a ton, a lot. We could say oodles. There are oodles of colors from which to choose. Okay, so when we look at those clues and we close our eyes, we don't have to know what plethora means. We can choose and find the definition based on what we learn as we look through our sentence. Let's take a look at another example. When I went to the store, I realized that there was an abundance of options for my color. There was an abundance. Oh my goodness. Miss Ford in these words. Okay, again, I'm closing my eyes. I'm picturing it. Words like realized. And you talk about options, color choice. Those all give us clue that abundance means many. Maybe even too many. Maybe an excessive amount. There was an abundance of options. And I know that because I realized there were options for my color choices. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Not dealing with Miss Ford and choosing paint right now. With her lavish lifestyle, the queen never ran out of new clothes or jewels to wear to a grand ball. Oh goodness, the word lavish. I wonder what that one means. Let's take a look at our clues. We have that she's a queen, so we know royalty. We have new clothes and jewels. We know that these are both expensive. And we see down here, grand ball. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know the last time that I went to a grand ball or a big party. So, royalty, things that are expensive, and a big party. Word lavish might mean something like luxurious or over the top. We could even say very rich. So with her very rich lifestyle, the queen never ran out of new clothes or jewels to wear to a grand ball. Okay. Practice. Now it's your turn to give it a try. Choose a book to read and use context clues to find the meaning of new words. Remember, guys, the best thing to do is to put this to use. I would recommend even scanning a page or a reading assignment beforehand to find words that you don't know. Use those context clues to help you find it so that you can read more fluently. If you have any questions or and let me know. If not, remember, images always from Pixabay.com. Say a sayonara, adios, guys. Hope you enjoyed this recording.